welcome to my
Hello.
channel. Welcome, Cookie Puss, to the show. Yeah.
Hello.
So this is episode one of D Talk, which is going to be like the replacement of D Time. So this is just like a vision of like being. It's just like D Time, but I'm not going to cancel anybody. Like this is like positivity. This is about having fun. This is about like giving the children something that they can go to and be like, oh, like what can I learn from these two fabulous individuals every time?
Oh, oh my God.
So, that being said, episode one is all about wigs,
Wigs, this is my hair.
right? Woke up that way this morning, right? I
I just woke
love
up
it.
like this.
Just in general.
Yeah, that's why I go
I
to bed looking.
I love it. So before we jump into the questions, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Cookie Puss, and I like to refer to myself, and I force other people to refer to me as Idaho's stupidest fucking bitch. And I hope that's okay to say.
Of course. Yeah, no, totally.
You
This
cut
is
that out.
like,
If you know.
nope, it's YouTube. We're gonna go for it. I'm not worried about it. They ain't gonna pay me for all my information.
Yeah, and I have been doing drag in Boise and the Treasure Valley for almost 2.5 years. So not very long. I feel like I've had the chance to do a lot of really amazing stuff though. And you actually put me in my second ever show. So the first show I was ever in was the Virgin show. And then the next week you had a show called the High Spirit Show. This was
Oh
during the
yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Like I think we were limited to like, I don't even know, like probably 30 people could show up or something.
Yep, I
But
remember.
that was my second show ever.
Oh, nice, nice. And
Yeah.
now, and now, I mean, cookies everywhere. Like
Now
there's
I'm
the cookie
everywhere, and now
party.
you're my
There's,
grandmother, my
I
house
know, and
grandmother.
you're lit. That's awesome. I love it. And how long? 2.5 years of drag?
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
mean
right.
probably a little less, but I say 2.5.
That's because you got skills, baby. You got skills.
I love it.
All right. So we are going to jump into the questions. And since the focus is wigs this week, my first question for you is a lace front or a non-lace front?
So yes, I was thinking about this, just trying to think like, okay, I mean, obviously lace front wigs, I will say, are much more in style now. That's definitely more mainstream in terms of drag queens. You can buy a lace front on Amazon. You can
Hmm.
get them pretty readily available. But honestly, some of my favorite wigs that I've performed in are hard front wigs.
Yeah.
Usually bangs. Usually it has like a bang because you got to have something to like cover cover the
Yeah.
front a little bit. But I have this blonde wig, this little blonde bob wig, and that's my favorite wig to perform in because I just flip it all over and it's a hard front and it was like $20 on Amazon. So you can get whatever you need, I think, from both. But I would say, yeah, most of my wigs are lace front.
I feel like hard fronts are definitely old school. Like lace fronts are new school because when I first started doing drag, like way back in the day, um, hard front, you everything was a hard front and you had to like put a hairline in. And so like you would have to tease the fuck out of the front and like mess up your entire front of your wig, right? And then
Yeah.
spray it with like as much hairspray as you could get in there, and then like trim it and like ease it on down and try to like bring it up. It was so much work and I hated it. I hated doing it. So I would always get like a good bang because I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And my drag mom
Yeah.
did a hair
I've
job for
seen
me once and it was huge. It was just huge. And I was like, I can't, I can't.
I've seen there's a queen that was on Drag Race. Her name's James Mansfield, and
Mhm.
she does a lot of YouTube wig tutorials. I've seen her style a few hard fronts, and it just looks like such a kind of like grueling process to make it happen. And yeah, and I don't think that the effort is usually worth the output that it comes to.
I guess it depends on the vision you have. Like the bigger the hair, obviously, the better it's gonna blend in. But for me, like I like a little bit more. I like big hair, but I like a sleek look too. So a lace front gives me the
Yeah.
ability to have like a really nice sleek look. But like, it's just a matter of preference, I guess, nowadays. So awesome. So you like a good hard front with a bang.
I do. That's honestly like I'm picturing the wig I love the most, and it's that.
Awesome.
Keep me.
Perfect. Love it. Okay, so on to question two. Would you
Mm.
prefer a synthetic wig or a human hair wig?
Well, again, pretty much all actually no, all of my wigs are synthetic. I bought a human hair wig for BNDS last year when
Hmm.
I was in season 5. I really wanted to live this like full fantasy with choreo and like flipping my hair and hairography. And that can be really difficult to do with a synthetic wig sometimes. Like, I don't know what your experience has been, but for me, sometimes I try to give it that, like, music video moment where I'm flipping my hair around and it just like, it can get caught in your makeup or your
Oh yeah.
lips.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to pull that back. And so anyway, I got one human hair wig from Amazon, and it
Mhm.
was it was expensive, honey. It like that shit. I think that was like $180 or something,
Yeah, they're
and
pricey.
it was really pricey. And I was like, this is my one time I'm gonna like splurge on this, and hopefully it gives me what I need. And it got here, and it was like so disappointing and underwhelming. It was like very thin, and it didn't look as long as I thought it would, and it wasn't giving. It was not giving.
Oh,
So I sent it back. I was like, no, it's
you're
too
like,
expensive.
Give it
No,
back to the girl who cut it out, honey.
Bezos can have it, babe. Because no, I'm like, if I'm gonna spend 180 bucks, I want
It's got to
like
be
a full
fabulous.
style phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no. I would
I
say
did.
if I had like a ton of money to spend, I would like certain queens I've seen, like I think Denim
Yeah.
had a human hair unit that
Mhm.
it's just, I mean, the movement is so amazing, but it's
Yeah.
expensive.
It is pricey. I have one human hair wig that one of my friends gave me, and I dyed it purple, and I love it. And I use it for my wet hair looks because it's super cute during the summertime. But
Yes.
I'm not about spending that much money on hair. Like I can style a synthetic just as well as I can style a human hair wig. In fact, I prefer to style a synthetic because at least afterwards I can just steam that shit out and call it
Yeah.
good. And, I don't feel so bad about it. Like if I mess it up, I'm like, it's a fake wig, somebody didn't grow out their hair for me to destroy it. So
Right.
just a
Yeah,
thing. I don't
I
know.
never even worked on a human hair. I would be terrified to try to style a human hair wig. I would be so scared.
Yeah, no. Well, and see, I was horrified to dye it, but I literally dip dyed it, and I was like, I was like, oh, well, it's whatever. It was a freebie, so whatever. It turned out really
Have
cute. It's
fun.
like a really cool color of purple, and so
And
yeah.
you can't dye synthetic wigs, really, can you? I've never really seen someone dyeing.
I mean, you can. There's a way to do it. You can like hot water dye them. So
Oh.
you basically like boil the dye into the wig.
Hmm.
And I've seen people like do dip dyes and stuff like that on YouTube and stuff like that. There's a couple of like channels and stuff that come up like where they just like hot water dip dye everything like different colors and stuff. But I'm too chicken shit to do that. Like that's not for
Yeah.
me. It's not gonna come out like they do because they're professional hairstylists and I am not. And I'm not gonna make it look like some cute Mike and Ike's candy box. It's not gonna look like that.
Nope,
Um,
it doesn't usually give what you want it to give. Because I'm the same way. I've tried back when I was first doing drag. I styled a few wigs, and I just recently I've become so like I don't know shy about it. I just don't feel like I have the vision. So I would love to try it again, but yeah, it's
um,
like writer's block.
you should follow Wigs by Vanity. She does amazing tutorials on YouTube where she like teaches you how to like steam out and style and steam curls in and stuff like that. And I follow her and I've done a couple of wigs off of her tutorials and they are fabulous. I mean,
Really?
they are just fabulous. And if you don't feel like just, trying it yourself, you can actually order wigs from her.
Okay,
So
this is
there's that option too.
I think this is a great moment to bring up the fact that I think this wig is from that person, but this is
From Wigs by
Coco
Vanity.
Frio's wig. Yeah. Yeah. So
I
please
love it.
don't tell Coco Frio that I'm wearing her wig. The rule
We
is
won't.
I'm not leaving the house. I'm literally not even standing up with it on. So I promise it's gonna be okay. But yeah.
Right. And we'll tag Wigs by Vanity in the videos and that
Oh
way they
yeah,
can,
totally. They should
because
love that.
they would love it. I sent her a Barbie doll because I don't think she had a during BLM. I think I sent her like her second or third like ever like POC Barbie doll. And I was like so excited, but she lives in Australia, so it was very
Oh wow.
expensive to send it,
Oh
but it was
God, I
worth it. I
bet.
love her. I love her. It was worth it. All right. So when you do wear a lace front, do you glue or do you not glue?
Oh, I wish that I could sit here and lie to you on camera and say that I do glue my wigs down, but I think that several people know that that's not the case. I definitely should. And I am coming around to this realization after at least two performances recently where my wig, I thought it was good to go. I was like, I give this like I always think drag is like a certain level of delusion anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was like, this wig is like set. I'm good. There's no need to worry. And then it was like very close to the end of my number, and I thought that I was getting away with it. And like there was just enough lift where I felt it. And I asked several of the girls, the drag queens in the audience, I was like, did you see my wig lift? And they did. Like I mean, they're not gonna lie to me. They told me, and I felt it. And I'm like, I could have just avoided this. I could have done, but I chose not to. So yes, I think that it's something I definitely will be doing in the future. I used to do this thing. So a queen showed me this, and I don't even know how good it is or not. But basically, they said use got to be glued spray and like spray it on your forehead,
Hmm.
get it tacky, and then you should be able to like lay your lace down, and
Right.
it stays. But I don't know. I don't know if that's tried and true or not.
I whip my head a lot. So I can't like got to be glued is not gonna glue nothing for me. Like I just
Yeah,
go for the weave bond and especially when I'm wearing braids. Like my braids have to be glued down because if they're not glued down, that wig is falling right off my head because of the weight.
they're heavy.
So yeah, I glue. I glue because I don't want a wig slip, and bitches will call you out. Bitches
Oh,
will
I
call
know.
you out
And
real quick, or
that's I
they'll have
think
like
why
a
I'm.
picture of it, and they'll be like,
Oh, they
"Ah,
do.
bitch," yeah, and then they'll put it on like Instagram and shit. So I'm like,
Everywhere, or
no,
they'll
yeah,
keep it until like an opportune moment, and then
your
they'll
birthday,
blackmail
yeah,
you with
and then they're like, by the way, just
it.
remember, like,
Yeah,
great,
that's a great moment to say. One time I was performing, I was doing a duet with Angel Rivera,
uh-huh,
and she pulled my wig off of my head, and yet another. Because she's an evil girl, and that's why we love her.
I could
But
see
that was
that.
another moment where I was like, I think I should start like duct taping this down.
Girl, back in the day, that's what my drag mama used to tell me to do. She would literally what she would do is she'd make a cross on my head, like on the top with duct tape, and then she would just wrap my head. And then like she would wrap so tight that like I felt like my eyeballs were gonna pop out of my head. And then she would go and like go to pin my wig on. She'd slap the wig on and then she'd pin like under the duct tape and like in my temples and like, but let me tell you those wigs didn't go nowhere. Like I was able to like helicopter and all kinds of stuff with those wigs on. It hurt and ooh, I had a headache. But let me tell you, that hair did not go nowhere.
That's
Nowhere. I
true.
lost. all of my baby hair and hairline because of my drag.
See, I've heard that too because I duct tape once and
Mhm.
Coco pinned it and it was really painful to be honest, but it was great. It definitely felt more than just like not falling off. The wig felt really secure, which for
Yeah.
me, when you feel really comfortable with moving, it can change the way you perform, I think. So
Oh, from head to toe,
it
totally.
does. You
Yeah,
feel more confident with your body, so because you don't feel like you have to be hesitant or
exactly.
careful. But yeah, I think someone told me like you'll lose your hair if you
Oh
like
yeah.
keep duct taping around. So I'm like,
Oh,
listen, Mother Nature's trying hard enough. I don't need duct tape to help. So
true story. True story. All right. So our next question is, what is your favorite wig style? Like, what do we like? Do we like an updo? Do we like a long? Do we like a bright color? Like, what's our favorite style?
oh, so I think again, like going back to the wigs I always feel the most comfortable in, or the ones this wig is giving me life.
It's
Obviously,
gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. She's not mine, but I would love, I think I might get something for myself that's like this. I like stuff that can be unobtrusive to my
Mhm.
face, like stay out of my face because
Okay.
I sweat in especially when I'm performing. And it just gets kind of for me, it gets kind of messy if
Mhm.
I have something that's really long and I love long wigs. I love very like long, beautiful wigs that you feel like you can kind of whip around, but they do get kind of messy very
They
easily.
get tangled so fast. Like long
Very
hair is a quick tangle.
yes,
And
and
your
I
brush
that
is
takes me
like,
out of it.
yeah, every time. I love Nicki Minaj for rocking that, those 33 inches and stuff. But the reality is that a drag queen, unless you are gonna sit still, baby, stand and pose, at 33 inches is not gonna happen.
It's true, and that's like what holds me back. Because like when I first started drag, all I wanted were like wigs that were down to my ass. Essentially, I was like,
Mhm.
I want to have this beautiful long hair, and then especially because I started during the pandemic, so I wasn't leaving my house. But then like getting on stage and performing, you learn really quickly what's like feasible, what makes sense, what
Yeah,
actually is workable, and
yeah.
what isn't.
What
So
doesn't work? You're like, no, there's no way.
no.
Um, I'm trying to think of the last time I performed in a long hair. Like, I think I performed in a 22-inch when last time Willem was here, and
Oh,
I did how many licks, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. I have this long ass with this long ass weave on. It's gonna be so fun. I remember sitting backstage trying so hard to keep the bottom of the wig like straight and like not tangled and not frizz and not static and like all the things. And I'm like, uh, give me some scissors. I'm gonna bob this bitch off. Like I was so done with her by the time I got done. Um, in fact, I think I passed that wig on. I literally was like, no, I'm passing this wig on to one of y'all. Like one of the brag babies got it. And I'm like,
have it.
good luck. Have fun, kids. I cannot. I can't.
That's me.
Um,
Sometimes I'll be like backstage even before the number, and I'm like, I'm just standing here, and this wig is starting to like clump, and that to me takes me out of it. So
yeah.
I have learned like sometimes, not always, but sometimes the simplest thing, the thing that kind of works physically is probably the best.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then yeah, I don't know. For me, I have to say my favorite wig is my braids. I love my braids. My
They're
neon green
beautiful.
braids. They glow. They're so much fun. I get so much attention when I wear them. Yeah, but they're
And
a pain in the ass.
they have their own like physicality too. Like they're
Yeah,
almost moving on their own, it seems like, which is such drag. Like that's drag.
they're a pain in the ass though, to be honest. They're heavy. You have to clean the net like constantly because like the minute I my color changes at all for from winter to summer, I have to rewash that net and redo it. And like
Oh yeah.
you can
Oh.
tell, you're like, oh, she wore this last summer.
They continue to
She
change.
wore this last summer. She's 3 shades lighter now. Um, But yeah, no, I think there's so many different styles of wigs that are out there now. I definitely want to try one of those sculpted ones with the rhinestones like that
Yes,
Elle's been wearing lately. I love
love those.
those. Those are fun. And I think I want to try to do like a beaded like full on like Mardi Gras beaded number or something
Hell
like Dolce
yes.
did with rhinestones, but I want to do it with
Yes.
carnival beads.
That was great. Like Dolce
Yeah.
Vita wig that was made out of like chains. I love.
Yeah, like
That's
that was
insane.
sick. I was like, oh, okay. If that comes up missing backstage, it was me.
Oh, I got my eye on it too. I think there might be
Right.
a few suspects.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We could just do a show about it. It's like Clue. Who stole that bitch's hair?
Right?
I love
Total
it.
wig.
Oh, what is your best memory in a wig ever?
Oh, I have a few. I was thinking about this too, and I'm like, to be honest, the wig for me in general is like the fantasy of it. Once the
Uh-huh.
wig is on, like I do all my drag, I get in face, but when the wig is on is the moment it starts to feel like magic's really happening or not.
Right.
Um, there's this like I think I talked about it before. I have this little blonde bob wig. So it's like giving like Casey in the first Scream movie, Drew Barrymore. So
Okay.
that's kind of the vibe. And
See, I prefer to say Pretty Woman because don't you have
Pretty
a Pretty
Woman.
Woman outfit that you wore with that
Yes,
wig? Yes, exactly. Okay.
it's exactly that. It's like the Pretty Woman, like fun prostitute Bob. And that wig, like I don't, like I said, we don't glue, so that wig just stays. I don't even have to do anything to it. It just like is molded to my head.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I like the first time I really got to whip my hair and felt like it was really sick, like I was giving, was in that wig at Tropicana Nights. I did Dragula by Rob
Okay.
Zombie.
Uh-huh. Such a
And it
great
was
song. I love
like
that song.
I was just whipping my hair. I like whipped around in a circle. Then I got on stage and whipped my hair, and it looked sick. And I was like, this feels like what do they call it? Hairography. I was fully in my fantasy moment. So that was definitely one that I always come back to because I'm like I said, I love to whip the hair. I love to be, dramatic, and that doesn't always work. So when it
Mhm.
does work, it works.
That's so awesome. Literally, that is like that hairstyle is the style that I try to sell all the newbie queens that come in and like buy wigs, and they're like, I need my first wig, and I'm like, you need I got you. It's called an Eve. You need the Eve. You can have a little bit
The
longer. She's a Cindy, if you don't want quite that A line, and I
Yeah,
always tell them, I'm like, this hair can be so many different styles. It can be 90s, it could be futuristic, it could be 20s, it could be whatever you want it to be. Like it
yeah.
can go anywhere. It's like the perfect wig for somebody who's like first starting off. And I'm always like, you know what? Secure that wig down and whip your head, and you don't have to worry about nothing because that wig will always come right back to where it needs to come. And it's so
That's
easy.
it. That's
Yes.
it. That to me, it's like I was literally like whipping my head in a circle and it just came right back. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why it's so cool.
It's so perfect. It's so well, and for me when I was growing up, for the longest time, that was the Las Vegas showgirl wig. Like every casino in like Las Vegas, they all the showgirls wore that wig because it was so
Yeah.
easy to fit underneath the headdresses. So
That was
like they all
for
had the
me
same
because
hairstyle too.
I wear hats a lot in drag. I love a
Mhm.
good cowgirl hat.
Yep.
I think it's because I'm from fucking Arco, Idaho. So for me, like that wig, you can put under any cowgirl hat and it works.
Yeah.
It just has
Yeah.
like an instant style. So another
Girl, try it underneath a beanie. Trust me,
honey.
it's still so cute. So cute. A cute fluffy
That's what I
beanie
want.
or a
That's
beret
actually that's a great idea. That's for winter. I need a nice like drag beanie.
or a beret.
Oh yes, I have a yellow one.
Oh,
I should wear that.
you need a raspberry beret, bitch.
I do.
Trust.
I know. There should be
It'd
no
be
other
fabulous.
color.
Right? Everything. They should all be raspberry.
I wish they were all raspberry berets.
Oh, all right, baby. We got about 6 minutes of our 30-minute interview here, and I am
Okay.
going to actually sum it up, but I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to give you the final word so you can tell all the children either whatever it is that you need to convey. If you need to get something off your chest, keep it in the script, where they can find you, whatever it is, the final word is yours. Go ahead, sweetness.
Oh, those are dangerous words, D, because you know I love a lot of words. So let me talk for a bit. I think, especially in this very moment we are in, I have heard whispers in the wind that our beautiful state legislature is planning to release some ridiculous bullshit legislation about drag in public spaces. And I think that if I could say anything, that that's probably what I should be saying most is drag is art. Drag is what we do. Drag has given me a new lease on my life, to be honest. You know, for a long time, I wanted to act and I wanted to be in theater, and I thought I had to be a certain way or that it looked like a certain thing. And drag has shown me that it can be whatever you want your life to be. I mean, it really has. I met my husband and we started with drag together essentially, and it has given us a whole entire community of friends and peers that we never expected to have. And it's such a beautiful, blessed thing to me. I mean, I'm not religious, but if I were, I think drag is my religion, honey. So to hear that the state that I grew up in and that, you know, for better or worse, I do love Idaho, and to see how, you know, a small minority, and maybe not, maybe I'm optimistic, but I don't think that most Idahoans agree with this. I see so many people out at our shows that love us, and they aren't sharing the same background as us. They are, you know, wives and to their husbands, and they have children, and they may be conservative, they may be religious, but they see something in what we do that they love. And I just can't imagine not being able to do this. So I think that this may be one of those moments where we have to remember where we came from and fight for what we know to be right. Um, so that's been on my mind. I know that's a very heavy thing to say. I felt I needed to say it. And also maybe to, you know, put a positive spin on it, drag has always existed in some form, and I don't think that it doesn't matter what, you know, what they try to, how they try to limit us. We'll always be doing drag, even if it's me in my living room right here, because
Right.
I still feel the need to express myself. So you're not going to stop us, honey.